Welcome everyone to the lab. This Brinito, I always have such trouble pronouncing the names of these asteroids. But we're starting off getting another rover here because these rovers only have so much battery life before they expire. Don't want to trap that dupe up in space. Their only point of going up was just that we can send another. Oh no, I don't know if that's going to matter. Does it matter that this guy... Oh, it doesn't matter as long as he can get through the top. He's good. Okay, excellent. I just wanted to highlight one thing, and this was thanks to Michael. I didn't even know this was a thing, but this is a new feature in the game. You can select an item, and then there's a new button here, which is kind of cool. You can hit move too. And you can tell the dupes, or actually one of the rovers... Well, I don't know if one of the rovers can do this or not. We'll see who picks this up, but you can actually tell the dupes, I want you to move this from over here. There's only a couple use cases where I think this would actually be useful, but here it is happening. The dupes picking it up and moving it in this location. Good work. But yeah, next time I actually find a use for that, and there is a few cases, I'll highlight that. Well, let's get going. Having this dupe pick up a pip egg and transporting it to the other world, home world, so I'll have some pips over there. It's going to be a very useful thing. Should also work to clean up the polluted oxygen in this area. But there is a pip egg. Kind of looks like it's not actually shown properly. Okay, let's go over to the other world. Make sure it actually is arriving properly. It has. There's the pip egg. Having Miner dig out this area because I want to grow sleet wheat for better food production. So clearing out this area, but that has released a lot of snow, polluted ice, and that has just made a mess all over the base. So now the dupes are going to have to clean up all of this, and I don't believe the rovers have the ability to mop. Got water flowing into this little area. This is where I want to take the temperature and do some temperature management where the sleet wheat's going to be, so this shouldn't take too long. I don't need a lot of water actually. I'll even start the process of getting them to deconstruct the liquid vent now. So this is the actual first proper use of the moving items. So I'm going to seal off this area. So I figure before I do that, I might as well take the contents of anything that's here and just move it out of the room. So there's copper. Can you move bottles? Actually, this is going to be something of interest. You can move too. Look at that. I can move a bottle of water from here to over here, as well as the metal that's in there. Because at some point, this is going to be sealed off. And anything that's in there, the dupes will never have access to again. Not that it's super important, but kind of nice in that perspective. Without, because the only other way of doing this is making a bin. I can see some mopping up. Still need it in this zone. But yeah, the only other way is to get a bin, and this is just so much better. I really like that update. So right now I've got these three doors here, and there's oxygen in this room, so I'm going to try to make that a vacuum. Let's close these doors. And we'll open them. And that's opening up into a vacuum. And what that essentially is doing is preventing all the coldness from going down, because cold can't go through this vacuum. So now that that's set, I'm going to remove this. And I'll have automation wire on this guy here. And this is going to control temperature. So if the temperature is above, let's say, 3 degrees, the doors should be, oh no, I had that opposite, below 3 degrees. And the door should be open, meaning a vacuum. So temperature in here right now is 6. Let's see. Oh, wait, we're fighting with this guy. That needs to go away. Go away, go away. Actually, technically, if I really get impatient, I could just snap it with this new tool. So this is causing the doors to close, meaning we need coldness to go in. This little liquid area needs to register a colder temperature. Please. So I got some Pacus. Why not bring them on the base? See if they have a place to survive. They may either go here, which actually I may want to discourage them because I'd rather have them go here. But I don't know if I will have the ability to... Hold on, you know what? If I do this, I'm going to disrupt the laboratory briefly. They seem to be going the right direction anyway. You know what? Maybe we don't have to do this. And if those Pacos go down in the water area at the bottom, that is awesome. Okay, let's have a look. So very close to having this system going. A little bit of water here has registered really cold temperatures, not freezing, but cold temperatures, so it's made a vacuum here. And I put a line that goes in a cycle all around like this. But when I see I will need a bridge to actually make this work. Where do I want to do that? Maybe what I'll do this. I'm going to snap this. Just have a granite pipe. Go from here to here. I guess we don't need this one. That's going to make sleet wheat, which I can actually start to grow now. Be able to be in the appropriate temperature. I'm doing that without an aqua tuner or using a lot of power. So we'll plant all our sleet wheat. We don't need a lot for our particular usage. Actually, the sleet wheat is already there and the auto sweeper is already on the case, which is really good. Get the setup when everything is in. We've got water cycling through. Radiant pipes here, radiant pipes here. This is indicated that doors need to be shut to allow more cooling in. Currently, the sleet wheat is not happy, but over time, all the coldness from here is going to make its way down to these plants. I even have a station here with one of the dupes that have the skill to fertilize these things. So that'll happen soon. But this guy here is also indicating when it has too much water. Make sure that this doesn't get backed up because I want to keep this cycle going around forever. So I get sleet wheat in time. Use an incubator for the last time. Just getting this pip egg through to increase the rate at which that's going to hatch. Let's do another smooth hatch. We'll do another sage hatch or two. And then we're going to be getting rid of the incubator. Never have to use it again. Potentially. Okay, let's see. 2 more sage hatches. 1. And then another one. I see one of the pipsqueaks was born. That's really good news. Okay, we can get rid of it. Don't need any special rules about who can go where now, so these doors can go away. All this becomes very much more simplified. But I also want to make sure that eggs are dumped at this location from the stables instead. So we're going to change that around a little bit. Flurry of activity happening over here. This is where I'm going to be selecting my eggs that are being dropped off here. And this is going to be an automated process instead of manually taking care of this. So the dupes and the bots are hard at work. So I've got a place for selecting eggs, but I also have a place where eggs can be stored as well as the critters. So I can repopulate the stables. Got a pipsqueak that's drowning. Actually, this is not one of the critters that I want to convert to meat at this point in time anyway, so hopefully one of the dupes will open this door in time. Apparently not rancher. Somebody want to help? How long does it take to actually tell you the health? Or how does it work in terms of drowning? Never mind, Chef is here. We're going to open this door so Pipsqueak can get out. Move out of the way because I want to close that door, Pip. Squeak. So my egg selection process is ready. I can select 5 different types of eggs. Let's start with just hatch eggs down here. So if I select hatch eggs, we've got a critter sensor here that's looking for both critters and eggs. And if it's below 5 here and 5 here, just have an AND gate there to filter, then it's going to open this door. And that door is going to allow this auto sweeper. It picks up 10 eggs at a time. This indicates that, okay, there are more than 5 here right now. So close the door. Auto sweeper is going to keep going, picking up 10 more eggs. I don't want to put in all the eggs here. I just want enough to keep the rooms populated, because I want the critters to be converted to meat. Now what happened is that, seeing that the door is closed, can't get to it, so it's like, well, I picked up the 10. I've got nothing to do, or nowhere's for those to go, so it just drops them back in the water. So when those eggs hatch, they'll either go in here later on when this room is doesn't have enough eggs, or they'll be converted to meat. So what do we need? We need the regular hatches, we need smooth hatches, and sage hatches. So let's continue the process here. This one will make for our sage hatches. So we'll go down to critter eggs, and that's going to be for sage hatches. And we'll put smooth hatches over here. Critter egg. There probably isn't going to be 10, so we won't actually select that, but that's going to be over there. Now the other thing that happens, I have a filter here just because as the eggs are transitioning rooms, the counter doesn't actually see them. Neither counter actually sees them at the moment because all the eggs are there. That's why I've got to filter that says, hold on, before you actually open the door, just wait 5 or 10 seconds, enough time for these eggs to transit here. Because once this thing reads it, it's going to be sending a false signal over here to keep the door closed, because we don't need any more eggs. But once these eggs hatch, and they turn into critters, and those critters are brought over here, the count will go down again, this door will open, and the process will start all over again. So there is my hatch eggs. You can find out by clicking on this how many there are. There's 9 of those. I've got 3 stage eggs and 2 smooth hatch eggs. Not incubating them anymore, thank goodness. But anyways, the next bit is to do automation for the dupes to actually bring them over and wrangle them. While the dupes work on automation for extending this a little bit further, let's check over here. We have a sleet wheat growing. Excellent. It's at the appropriate temperature. This thing is currently telling it that it needs a little bit of cooling, so the doors are closed rather. And now it is cold enough, so now this is opening, creating a vacuum, preventing any coldness from getting down until it's needed once again. But now I've got 6 pieces of sleet wheat with a farming station in it growing. So now each stable has a dupe sensor. Each stable basically says if the count is above 7, send a true, otherwise send it false. These first 3 are going through OR gates, so I want to know if either one of these hatches rooms or hatch stables needs to be filled. It's going to send a false signal. So false basically means we need more critters, which is true for all these, because I increased the range of this from 6 to 7. So they're all in need of more critters. They're all sending false signals over. A little bit of a mess crossing here, but as long as I don't have any buildings interacting with this wire, it's going to be fine. That's going to essentially close these 3 doors, and I've got each of these set to wrangle anything that the dupes see. We're just going to have to wait for these eggs to hatch, but when these eggs do hatch, they'll start to populate these again, and then when there's enough of them, it's going to send a green signal that's going to open this door, and the dupes won't be able to interact with that, preventing excess wrangling on this side. So that is it. I've got automation now for my meat production process. Got eggs going to the appropriate place. The range or the stables are going to be repopulated automatically without me having to get involved. I've got some sleet wheat growing here, and I'm just digging out some natural water weed. That's essentially going to make lettuce. I've told the dupes I want to store lettuce in the fridge. And we're going to create burgers, but we need to have a source of natural gas. I think I've seen one of those geysers around. somewheres. Anyways, I also need to produce a little bit of steel, that ideally for that. So let's start that process now. And I just realized that I've trapped a dupe engineer in here. So to be very careful with these, just realized I connected to the wrong door. So let's first of all destroy that. And we'll destroy this so that engineer can get out once again. And we can easily fix this by connecting this door here and here. Sorry about that, engineer. Continuing to dig down this area so that this doesn't get blocked up, because I want more and more polluted water. And I'm using this for two things. In the future, I'm going to be using this to produce oxygen. Got to convert it to water. But I'm also still using it for cooling in the metal refinery. Should be heading all the way up as a coolant over here. Relocated a pump down here. Pump carbon dioxide up. Got a lot of pumps in the area, so I'm going to have to possibly make a new circuitry to address all these. But I got a sensor here with a filter looking for carbon dioxide. So I made a change to my circuitry. I brought the heavy watt wire down from the power plant. There's the electrolyzer here going behind all this equipment, and going to another electrolyzer, 2 pumps, another pump, and another pump. So it just reduces the amount of dependency on the transformers. It is cycle 100. Time to celebrate dupes. Let's have a look at what I've done. In the last little bit, just put in these Atmosuit docking stations, because we want to get access to here. Getting one of the dupes to drop some water so we can make an airlock over there. But let's look at the overall base. We still have a great living area. It's a great hall, washroom, barracks. We've got a power plant. These haven't been operational for a while, and I'm loving it. Manual generator. I've got 2 hydrogen generators. Lots of hydrogen, so that is, power production has gone very well lately. Growing mealwood, yeah, we got to get off that, but that is going to be that's happening very soon. Actually, now we've got our lock available. We'll be able to get in there and produce much better food and get rid of that. So 48,000 calories, not great. But that's going to be ramping up significantly. But we've got automation for lots of things. We've got automation for the meat production. So currently the dupes are getting barbecue meat. No longer running incubator. Oh my goodness, very happy about that. So we see one of these critters. Actually, did I specify? Oh, I've specified every. I have one actually. Can this support 0? Make that little change. Oh yeah, we just changed the electrical circuitry so that heavy watt wires are accessing more things, especially the life support systems, so we don't have to rely on the transformers for that as much. Been out in space, actually. How much carbon dioxide do we have? Quite a bit. We can send another rocket up. I'll do that now, because I can send a rover down to help us build our base further and further. But yeah, I haven't really explored much of this room other than it's just there. I suppose you could probably inspect a few things and have databanks fall down like this. Not that I'm using databanks at the moment. But yeah, so we're growing sleet wheat. Things are going well. And we're just put the final touches on our food production to make burgers here shortly. More and more rovers arriving now that I've found some more carbon dioxide. I'm going to help set this base up for better food production. Dupe over here has been working alone, getting them to dig out some aluminum ore, find out what some of these geysers are. They have access now to 2 carbon dioxide geysers, but the geysers have not gone off, but pumps are going to be ready. Because carbon dioxide is very valuable. I'm able to turn those into more of those rovers. Very important setting was missed right here. I need to make sure auto wrangle surplus is enabled because I've got critters waiting to be taken out with the dupes, or specifically Rancher and Hugger are not in here taking them out, so that hopefully will allow the stables to actually properly be filled. Hugger is down here. Let's actually increase the priority for these actually to a 6. Copy that setting the whole way through. Hugger, Rancher. Once you're done ranching, down here please. Rancher's on the way over, calling the critter. I'm not very far away. They're wrangling them. And either them or some other dupe is now going to take this hatch back up to here. This is really nice. It means I don't have to do this. The dupes can do this for me. So I brought in power and a pipe over in this area where I've got this natural gas geyser. Scientist is analyzing it. See a little bit of carbon dioxide, so I might want to do some filtering and do that here. That's going to go into my gas range to do some cooking ultimately. The scientist has finished analyzing this geyser. Just going to set a setting here to be 500 or more. Only operate the pump in that condition. So essentially not right now. We'll power this up. We're going to wait for the geyser to go on. But it's not active at the moment. What is it? It's next active 28 cycles. Well, maybe this was the wrong priority to focus on. I'll go get natural gas from another source. Thank you very much, natural gas geyser. Okay, so here's where I should have started collecting natural gas in a place where the oil refinery was creating it anyways. So doing some basic filtering, make sure I just get the natural gas out of this system. And that's going to be heading towards the kitchen area. It'll meet the gas range here eventually. Just got to finish a little bit more piping. Planning out the food situation here. I have this here electrical grill. We're going to start creating frost buns whenever we can. Over here, I want to create some frost burgers. That takes frost bun, lettuce, and barbecue meat. There currently isn't any lettuce. And I thought I'd go into consumables and I'd tell the dupes, you know what, if you see lettuce, you can't have it. It's not yours. That includes any new dupes. And I'll do the same thing for meat. And basically anything that I plan to cook, I'm going to ensure that the dupes don't eat that. Artists in the other world, actually no, I'll apply the same thing to them too. So I'll do that for that and meat as well. So set up this little farm right here. Just has 2 little plants to grow bleachstone, or not grow bleachstone. It's growing lettuce. So inside that should be the water weed. Now that needs a little salt water sitting on top of it. That's what the bottle emptier is for. Told the dupes to store bleachstone right here so that this guy can automatically put it in these 2 containers when it's needed. So hopefully we'll have some more lettuce, because I am producing lettuce from these guys, but it's just taking a very long time. So I figure we'll speed up the process by putting it in a farm with fertilizer. Making 2 changes over here. One, I've got a gas element sensor. This is looking for natural gas. No sense in having this pump going unless it's actually both needed over here and actually sensing natural gas. And put a granite tiles. This is just going to allow temperature interaction between the machinery, which gets really hot in the environment. A little bit of a thermosensor there just to make sure everything's okay. I made this out of steel so it doesn't overheat as easily. Another smooth hatch. This hatch has just become an adult. Rancher is ignoring the hatchlings, which is alright because it's mostly the adults they care about getting over here anyways. So we've improved the food situation, but we have to wait a little bit longer before we can get rid of the mealwood. Just because we have a shortage of lettuce. Just waiting for wild and my farmed lettuce to grow. Also, my stables are getting low. Only 4 here, 3 here. And what I decided to do is put this count up. It was at 5, made that 15. So now there's more eggs taken out. Specifically the hatches. I'm going to leave the other ones at the values that they were because there's only 1 stable for smooth hatches and 1 stable for the sage hatches. But the 3 stables of hatches I think need a little bit more. So we'll need to wait for them to hatch. And I don't want to use the incubator. So we'll just wait. So, unfortunately, no good quality food for you right now, dupes, but it's on the way. If I had done things differently, I would have made sure that that value had been more, or I would have pulled out more hatch eggs. But anyway, the other thing I would have done is because lettuce takes so long to grow, I would have started growing this earlier. But I've got sleet wheat growing. That also takes a long time to grow, so I'm glad that I've started that when I did. Got some lettuce. I think I've got enough wild lettuce around that I don't have to grow this in a farm forever. But we'll see how that turns out long term. Also, natural gas was a little bit of a mess because I got into this. And it's not a bad thing because I ultimately do want to get over here. It's just this particular geyser isn't going to be active for about 25 cycles. But I do have a source for natural gas down here because I'm producing plastic and the oil refinery is giving me natural gas. So things are going well. I'm happy about eventually, well actually the incubator is gone, that I'm extremely pleased with. Mealwood is here, but that's not going to be too long before I'm getting rid of that. We've got material study research going on. Carbon dioxide has been turned into rovers helping out in the base. And now that we have all this food set up, I can concentrate on some other things. Let's look at that power production. Might not actually need to focus on that too much because hydrogen... Oh, no, never mind. Okay, excuse me. Hydrogen is getting a little bit lower. Maybe we do need to... pay attention to power production. That's one thing that we could be doing. The other is heat. The base is all right, but we do need to have a better cooling source. Still relying on that early game hydrogen line that's going around, in particular visiting the electrolyzers. But this episode's mainly been about setting up the food production, and in the next episode we should actually see this produce stuff. I don't plan to have this the ultimate location for the gas range. I want to have a food storage area because I don't have that many calories. It's not really a priority at the moment, but we're going to be moving this along with the electric grill and actual kitchen area with the full food storage with a deep frozen state for the dupes to be able to store that in. That's going to be important as the calories start to shoot up, which is going to happen. But I'll have to think about what to do next. Do I work on power or do I work on base cooling or something completely different? You will have to find out in the next episode, and that shouldn't be too far from now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you then.